We're driving an MDX, that is Acura's 3-row premium SUV. It's also their best seller, and it has been updated for 2025.
First, here's how much the MDX costs.
One change for 2025 is the trim we're driving. This is the A-Spec Advanced package, which means we have a head-up display, a 360-degree camera system, and then of course all that. Oh, we almost got hit by a pine cone. I'm sure glad that didn't fall right on our car.
Whew.
Our A-Spec Advanced also has second-row heated seats, which is really helpful on a blustery day like today. What are you noticing about the interior, sweetie?
Just a lot of different color textures, all this stitching. It looks so nice. And I love this metallic looking material with the little pattern on it.
I like you and I like you, but I've somehow excluded mention of you in the middle. Shiny black plastic really shows off dust and fingerprints. And so when you see this much in here, all we think is, man, this is gonna get dirty really quick. Filthy plastic aside, there's a pleasing aesthetic in here, but it's also quite functional. You can kind of figure out like what the buttons do immediately.
This is a real phone-friendly vehicle. There's a spot for it in the door here with adjacent pop-out charge ports. We also have a wireless charger.
Yeah, that is standard and conspicuously located. They made a couple of updates to the interior, and a big one is in the center console area. We actually have a little bit more center storage here.
If you push this button, you get shallow storage. If you press this lever, you get deeper storage and additional charge ports with a little indentation so you can have a wire to your phone if you need to.
And then, of course, there's the adjacent cup holders, which are generously sized and do not in any way impede with the controls up here.
We also have slightly angled bottle storage in the door and a generous sauce pocket.
Moving to the seats, the base MDX gets leatherette, but all other trims get some version of leather. We've got the advanced trims 16-way power seats with a 9-mode massage function that was previously reserved just for the top line Type S version. I'm appreciating good lateral support that doesn't impede my arm movement. It's a little bit ribbed, so I'm like, it's almost approaching a pressure point, but my body has grown used to it.
I find the seats so comfortable, and as a short person, I appreciate how adjustable they are.
We also have highly adjustable headrests.
I'm short, so I always find it intrudes. It's not meant for me.
That's where you're wrong. MDX has your head in mind. I don't know why that feels more significant than it is. Behind my preferred front seat position, there is more than enough space. Second row seats slide and recline. I also like that they sit up a little bit, almost stadium style, so you have a good view ahead. Seated behind my preferred second row seat position, I do technically fit in the third row, but that third row really is more of a kid space. Well, actually, let me ask. Kiddo, how do you feel sitting in the third row of the MDX?
I can deal with it, but it's not my favorite still.
What about in the second row? You more comfortable there?
Yes.
What about the second row middle position?
That's the best one.
The seat bottom is a little bit shorter, so it means her legs more easily go straight to the ground. Meanwhile, I sit in that middle position quite comfortably, aided by that completely flat floor. That middle seat also has a couple of other tricks. If you fold it down, then you've got a really nice center armrest area with some cup holders, but you can also just remove it.
That provides easy access to the third row.
I do wish that middle seat had a dedicated storage zone in the cargo area like you'd find on, let's say, the Honda Pilot. Nonetheless, you can put it back there if you're so inclined, or just take it out completely. Oh, Kiddo, one more thing. How is it climbing into the third row?
You use the one-touch release button.
You can just like push the button yourself. You don't need an adult to let you back there. You've got it all in hand.
Yeah!
That's exactly the voice you would want to use when you've got everything under control. That one-touch release, there's a button down low for getting in, and there's also one on the seat back for getting out. Delegating that responsibility to your child will free you up for 3 to 5 seconds to think about all those fun things you did before you had kids.
Aww.
Kiddo, I'm glad you're here. All we did when you weren't here was go out to dinners and go to concerts and have fun with friends.
A very empty life.
So we can haul up to 7 people in the MDX. As far as cargo is concerned, 16.3 cubic feet behind the third row and 39.1 behind the second row. And I imagine a lot of people are going to have those third row seats down for the majority of the time they use this. A good amount of cargo space to work with, and you also have that underfloor area. And I like how it's got that reversible load floor. So you've got like the fuzzy side if you're living that fancy life, and then I always go to the gutting fish example, and I'm like, nobody's gutting fish in their MDX. But if you do have messy cargo, you can flip that cargo floor over and set it right on there, and it'll wipe right off. Up to and including fish guts.
Or dirty hiking boots or something.
So you're hiking to where you get the fish?
Yeah,
gotcha.
of course.
Okay. By the way, that is a standard power hatch, and all MDX trims include a spare tire except for the absolute highest Type S trim. If you need extra cargo space, there's an easy 50-50 split fold third row, and I really like like the function too. Just pull up the little lever, flops down, easy to pull back up. And then same deal with the second row. In totality, we have a very functional interior. Now, sweetie, tell us about the child seat situation.
There are top tethers on all 5 rear seats. There are lower anchors in the second row on all 3 seats. I'm 5'2". With a workable front seat position for myself, there is room for a rear-facing car seat.
As for safety, the NHTSA has rated the MDX 5 stars overall. It is an IIHS top safety pick. We have a full suite of active driver assist technology standard, plus 8 airbags. Family, what do we think? Is the Acura MDX family friendly?
With a base price just over $50,000, it is rich family friendly.
Rear window test. All the way down, woo! Armrest test, driving in a comfortable 8 and 4. It's a little bit of a reach to the armrest, but really if I have a bigger complaint, it's that we've got stitching right here where my elbow lands, which forces my elbow outboard or inboard. The squish factor for my left elbow is a little bit more generous though. I'm gonna go 65% inboard, 75% outboard. Moving onward to style. We mentioned that the MDX has been updated for 2025. Most of the MDX's aesthetic carries over. You got that long hood, sculpted body style, chicane tail lights, jewelite headlights. But astute MDX fans will note that the front end has been updated. Front fascia situation, also new grille.
I think that grille looks so good with the angular nature of it and how the lines come out at an angle from it on the hood. It looks like it's speeding quickly towards you, even if it's sitting still. Is that a cliche?
Yeah, it is.
Great.
Cliches are cliches because they are oftentimes true. For comparison's sake, here's what the MDX used to look like, and here's what it looks like now. That is the non-A-Spec version. We, however, are driving the A-Spec. There are a few details that distinguish it visually. You got dark trim, also these A-Spec badges. Our A-Spec Advanced trim has these unique wheels, and then all A-Spec versions now include the same front fascia that was previously only found on the Type S. I also have to mention this Apex Blue Pearl paint, which is an extra $600, but a very fashionable choice. If you appreciate good fashion and you're in the market for eyewear, may I also suggest Flying Eyes eyeglasses and sunglasses. They do this unique bendy thing, which makes them incredibly comfortable for pilots like me under headsets, but they're also great for motorcyclists and normal commuters just like you. If you would like to help support our channel, you can learn more by clicking the link in the description below. And it's really windy out here, so I'm gonna get in the car. Look at the MDX for a moment, won't you? Use the promo code Micah to save 10%. Despite minimal changes for 2025, we still think the MDX is an attractive SUV, but what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us in the comments. Also, thank you for watching this video. There are so many other places you could be pointing your attention right now, and yet you're hanging out with us. It's kind of crazy. Moving onward to In Motion. The MDX is a good commuter, and I know that because I've commuted in the MDX. Ride quality is good. I think the interior noise is well controlled. We've got laminated glass, and they actually have, on the higher trims for 2025, added a little bit more sound deadening. Just a pleasant vehicle to drive. You might underestimate its cornering abilities. Then you get into the corners, and it's like, oh no, this thing grips tenaciously. And it's very responsive steering, very satisfying to drive. The way they shape their steering wheel is so beneficial for a 9 and 3 position, the way your hand grips around the wheel, that you want to stay in this command position. And on center, it's a fairly slow ratio, and then the more you come off center, the quicker the steering gets. So you get this really great combination of stability in a straight line and agility in the corners, which I have dubbed stagility.
It sounds like an aging disease, but it's not.
Did you know 10 out of 10 MDX drivers experience stagility? If your stagility lasts longer than 4 hours, congratulations! Adding to the MDX's joyful driving demeanor is the fact that we have super handling all-wheel drive. And whenever you hear like fancy words like super handling, you're like, okay, so this is some dumb marketing gimmick. No, it's like a legitimate torque vectoring rear differential. You can send up, what's it, like up to 70% of the power to the rear differential and 100% of that power to either the left or the right tire. A lot of car makers are using the phrase torque vectoring, and basically all they're doing is using the brakes to like transfer torque from one wheel to the other side. This doesn't do it. It's very proactive. Though the MDX also has the ability to brake like inside wheels to enhance agility. But yeah, so if I floor it, let's say right now, a bunch of power is going to that outside rear wheel, and it's helping rotate the car around the corners. So you can be kind of on it and maybe approaching the limits. And then as you add acceleration, you don't just push wide. The vehicle can actually maintain that corner by putting the torque to the right wheel. Not the right wheel, but the correct wheel.
Wait, the right wheel isn't the right one?
If you're turning left, it is. So we have a dynamically pleasing vehicle. How does power fit into the equation? Well, once again, I'm floored. The V6 offers a nice sound profile, eager acceleration, though I was kind of expecting, because we just drove the RDX, click here to watch, I was expecting more acceleration. If you look at the power figures, the MDX, which costs more and is bigger and weighs 500 pounds more than the RDX, actually has a lower torque figure. So I don't think this is any quicker than the smaller, cheaper RDX we drove previously. More than enough power for most people's needs, but I was expecting maybe a little more.
You can haul your crap or but not both.
There's no way that's getting into the edit. Just driving around, the shifts are really smooth. If you want manual control, we have standard paddle shifters. One last thing, I'm gonna come to a stop here. When we had the RDX, I noticed spongy pedal feel at the top of its travel. Notice the same thing here. Let me see if I can come to a smooth limo-like stop.
Wow, that was so smooth.
I don't really like the initial pedal feel, but in terms of actual control, once you're in the bite zone, the pedal works great. That's what I think about driving the Acura MDX. What does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. As we're pulling away here, tell me, does this feel like a 3-row SUV?
No, it doesn't. Driving around a 3-row SUV, I usually feel intimidated by its size. It feels kind of lumbering. This feels really fun, easy to turn, speedy. I enjoyed driving it.
Any visibility challenges?
Over my right shoulder, there is a pretty big blind spot, but other than that, visibility is good.
And blind spot warning does come standard. Did you play with the drive modes at all?
I tended to drive in comfort.
Light steering, kind of just easy. Yeah.
Yes.
There's also an individual setting, so you can really hyper customize your drive mode. Sweetie, tell me, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving an Acura MDX if we were in the market for a premium 3-row SUV?
No game killers here. In fact, I really enjoy driving this.
Excellent, I'm getting back to the driver's seat. Moving onward to remarks. Here we come to the most significant update for 2025, the infotainment system. Previously, Acura used the true touchpad interface, which we did experience in the RDX. Basically, it's not like you scroll. Left is left on the screen on the pad. I appreciated it conceptually, but in actual execution, I found it a little bit confusing, doubly so because the way it functioned flipped when you used Apple CarPlay. This is just a touchscreen, much simpler. It does include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless smartphone connectivity, and they've also added Google built-in and Alexa built-in. And there are 5 USB-C ports standard.
I really appreciate the touchscreen interface, even though it is a little bit of a long reach. It's divided into 3 zones. There's a spot here that shows the track you're playing or a clock. There are convenient shortcuts here that you can adjust. And there's this middle spot that has all the rest of the features.
I also like that Apple CarPlay has a full screen mode that takes over basically the entire screen with the exception of the submenus on the left. Or you can get rid of that and get that thingy on the right.
Go thingy!
I'm just such a big fan of thingy is all. We also have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that also comes standard, plenty of information.
I particularly like the seatbelt indicator, which shows in large, clear fashion who has their belt buckled and who does not.
I mentioned earlier that we're driving the A-Spec Advanced trim. All Advanced trims get a 360-degree camera system, a head-up display, and then USB-C ports in the 3rd row. One feature that we have in here that we really appreciated, let's say in the Honda Odyssey of all things, is cabin talk. If I push this button here, child, I am amplifying my voice to the back of the car. Can you hear what I am saying?
Yes, but not by being amplified.
On, Micah's talking. Daddy talks.
It's about the same.
Okay, well then, I bet it's more helpful for people in the 3rd row. Quickly wrapping up the 2025 updates, we have revised front-end styling, a welcome update to the infotainment interface, a new 19-speaker audio system from Bang & Olufsen that comes with a technology package, and a 31-speaker Bang & Olufsen system that comes with the Type S.
That system is so good, even I noticed.
She's talking about the 19-speaker one, so I can only imagine how good the 31-speaker sounds. Acura has also updated the active driver assist technology with new hardware. And then there's the new trim that we're driving, the A-Spec Advanced trim. It's sporty and fancy. Now let's take a look under the hood in a test inspired by my buddy Brian. Here's how you open up the hood on an Acura MDX. That's where you check the oil level, that's where you add oil, and over on the left side you can add washer fluid. And if you're wondering what the MDX's horn sounds like, All right, let's talk engine choices. The MDX is powered by a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 engine. All-wheel drive is standard on all but the 2 lowest trims, where if you want all-wheel drive, it's an extra $2,200. Reserved for the absolute highest Type S Advanced trim is a turbocharged version of that 3.5-liter V6. That Type S also features an adaptive air suspension and Brembo front brakes. In all MDXs, a 10-speed automatic transmission comes standard, and premium fuel is recommended. If you want a tow, it maxes out at 3,500 pounds with front-wheel drive and 5,000 pounds with all-wheel drive.
Sweetie.
Yes.
Please share our trim recommendation.
I will. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential features you'd regret not getting in an Acura MDX, but at the lowest possible price. The base MDX trim covers all the bases, including 3-zone climate control, 12-way power heated front seats with driver memory, a panoramic moonroof, a power liftgate, and smart key access. If you're ready to buy an MDX of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book pricing link in the description below to learn what you can get for trade-in on your current car and what you should spend on an Acura MDX. As for competitors, there's the BMW X5, Audi Q7, Genesis GV80, and the Lexus TX. And against that group, the MDX stacks up favorably in terms of equipment and price. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comments section. And now it's our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature in the Acura MDX?
The center armrest, also known as the snacking armrest.
Why is it called that?
You can put your snacks in it. That's why.
No one looks cooler snacking in an MDX than our Kiddo does. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Acura MDX. May I have a 5 and a 5, and you come get your high five. Blammo! And now please enjoy our kind of hilarious Acura MDX AI-generated Synopsis Song.
Well, we got something exciting going on. It was rough, rugged, aggressive, and now we're turning it up. A notch, raising the bar, we turbocharged and supercharged it. So even though it looked great, we've made it even better, I'm expecting. We've taken power, and that's our joy. If someone takes a